My name is Jed Bass. I'm in the MAT program here at Lenoir-Rhyne University, and this summer we were challenged as students to create a project that we would use in our content, mine is history, and in that project we were to imply differentiation, and I took the course of World War II and kind of created a map to go along with this project, so here it is. This is my Win the War project, and it will be implemented during my unit on World War II. And basically, it incorporates differentiation by learning style. One thing that we've learned this summer in the MAT program here at Lenoir-Rhyne is students learn different, in different ways, and they portray what they've learned in different ways, and they're better at, maybe some are better at writing assignments, some are better at presenting, and some are really creative, and they just want to, show what they can do through art or some sort of creative activity, and that's kind of been the backbone of this assignment. Um, I've set up this map, and it kind of just draws out the guidelines, and basically a student will follow the arrows if they choose to, or they'll choose to do different assignments at different dots. And basically there's three main assignments. So the students will choose an assignment from this group right here, and after they completed that, they'll go here by the map. But this is actually guided notes, and it will be given. The guided notes will be given every day, and we'll talk about that. And then after the guided notes, they'll go to one of these three dots here, and they'll choose a different assignment. So three main assignments, and basically the reason for the colors, the reason for the dots, the different assignments are you implement different learning styles, different ways to present what you know. For instance, if the student likes to write, they're a good writer, and they'll choose the United States. They'll choose America, which is the blue arrow, and they'll start at this dot right here. And basically what the student will be challenged to do will construct a 2 to 3 page paper summarizing the Normandy beach invasions. So it's nothing overly hard, and hopefully they'll have notes from class, the guided notes that they'll have that will be mandatory from here, they can use during this at this first point. If they choose the gold dot or the gold arrow, students will be challenged to construct a presentation using a visual, whether that be PowerPoint, Prezi, poster board, or any other form of media. I would like for the form of media to be approved by me. And basically this presentation will be 3 to 5 minutes in length, nothing overly hard, and it'll focus on tactics, strategies, landscapes, people, anything that pertains to the Normandy beach invasions. I really want to give them a broad field of what they can choose from here. If they choose the red arrow, this is more of the artistic assignment that students can possibly choose out of this first group right here. And basically what the students will do is they'll construct a comic strip that tells the story of the beach invasion, and I'll have an example of that for them in class. They can use websites to construct it. They can use construction paper or any other form of media, once again, just as long as it's approved by me. The comic will include no less than 7 different scenes, and I really want them to have a beginning, a middle, and an end to kind of keep some structure to the assignment. So after the students choose one of these three here at the D-Day section of the map, they'll, in the order of the map, move to guided notes. But guided notes will be implemented every day during this unit. This unit is a 10-day unit, so they'll have guided notes for each day, and the guided notes will work as an exit slip. So the students will just hand me their guided notes for the day, and if they've got them, it's a quick, easy 5 points. And after the 8 days of guided notes that we'll have, because I really want to get 2 days of the 10 unit days in the library or in a computer lab and let the students work on this project. So they'll only be taking notes for 8 days. But after the 8 days of guided notes, they'll have 40 points, hopefully. which will really help them out. I forgot this section right here. Whatever they create, whether it be the summary, the presentation, or the comic strip, this will be worth 30 points. So you see that the guided notes are very important because they're worth 40 as well. So, and the reason for the guided notes being mandatory is, they're going to do it every day, and I really want them to get the content that I think is necessary for this unit, and they'll get that through the guided notes. After the students, in the order of the map, choose guided notes, then they'll have another opportunity to kind of open up the way they want to attack this project, and they'll either go to Berlin, the Battle of the Bulge, or Sicily. And I realize this is not in chronological order with D-Day as far as when it actually happened in time. Berlin, I chose it because obviously it's a key part of World War II. Battle of the Bulge, one of the most famous battles. And then my grandpa kind of throw in, and I'll talk to the students about this as well. My grandpa was actually in the Sicily invasion, so I'll kind of bring a real world example in for them, and kind of help that kind of bring on my point of why I have Sicily in here. But anyways, so if the students choose to stay with the blue, if they started with blue, or if they started with gold or red, they can choose to go blue. I really want to just open it up and let the students have options. So if they choose Sicily, this assignment will once again be another writing assignment, and it will be a little bit longer. The point value also goes up. For these last 3 dots, each of these assignments are worth 50 points. So it's a big chunk. And like I said, if they go blue, they'll write a 3 to 4 page summary or biography, talking about either a battle, a place during this time period, or an event during World War II. And if they choose to do a biography, they'll choose to do it on a person, maybe a general, or maybe someone that went through a concentration camp. If they've read Night, that would be a cool one to do. They could write about Eli Whitney, but really just kind of want to open it up and let them kind of choose what they want to write about here. If they choose to go with the Battle of the Bulge, this will be another presentation using PowerPoint, Prezi, poster board, and basically this presentation should be 5 to 7 minutes in length, so a little bit longer, and it will focus on a main point, place, or event. I would like for the point, place, or event to be approved by me first, just so they're doing a credible presentation on something that we can gain some knowledge from, and so that's that. But if they choose to go with the red and go to Berlin, and I really like this one. The students will be challenged to create 2 different front pages for a newspaper. So they'll have a front page of a newspaper for one side of World War II, and one page on the other side. And basically the event will be the same, or the person that they choose to do the front page about. But what I want the students to do is I want them to create one page as if they were a member of a newspaper that supports the Allied forces, so the United States, Great Britain, Russia, Canada, and like I said, I want the event to be the same, but I want I want them to mix it up, and I want one of the front pages to support an ally, and then I want another front page of a newspaper, and I want them to make it as if they were a member of a newspaper that supported the Axis powers. So Italy, Germany, Austria, Japan, and this would, and I've got in my notes and in my handout, all papers, no matter the country, will be completed in English, and I just want to make sure that the students stay on task and don't try to do something they're not capable of doing by writing a newspaper front page in Mandarin or something, with thinking about Japan. But And then after they choose one of these three, and like I said, each one of these three will be worth 50 points as well, um, for extensions or extra credit. Or if maybe a student missed a day and didn't get the guided notes, there are three opportunities for an extra 5 points. And uh, one is here, Battle of Britain. Uh, this one, the Allied powers, or here at the Axis powers. And basically, if they choose the Battle of Britain, the students will write a 1 to 2 page summary of the Battle of Britain, the air war that took place that resulted in a Nazi defeat. And like I said, it'll be worth 5 points. If they choose the Axis powers, students will create a collage using symbols and pictures. And I want them to create it not with negative images, but if they were to promote the Axis powers. So once again, we're kind of mixing up the mindset, challenging the students to think differently, um, open up a and not attack this project with bias, but be open and understand both ways, and kind of look at it that way. Um, if they choose the Allied powers, students will create a flyer that promotes this alliance. So they'll also need to include some of the major countries that are in it. Maybe join our cause, and have a American flag and a British flag or something. This will really give the students a chance to show me their creativity, and like I said, this will be extra credit. So they don't have to do the stars, but they can if they want to, and each one will be worth 5 points. And just to make sure that the students understand this, they can do all three extra credit activities, but they can only do the flyer about the Allies once. They can only do the collage for the Axis powers once. They can only write one summary about the Battle of Britain. So they can do all three, but they can only do those three, and they can only do each one time. Um, and that's pretty much that's it. That's the presentation. Like I said, it's differentiation by learning style, and I'm going to implement this semester, and I'm pretty excited to see how it goes. So, thank you for your time.